I plan to have this lightning talk about 10 to 20 minutes max, where I will talk about what is bashunit and the story about why I created this thing and from where it comes from and what it does. Okay. So, agenda, a new testing library, or testing library in Bash, the story behind bashunit, why I created another library, some milestones that now we got the framework, and then a little coding demo where I will show how easy it is to start with it. So the story about this testing thing is back then in September 2023, where I joined a former company, and there they got the convention where you have to write the tickets a key, like in the case is PG dash 123, and this must be into square brackets and then colon and then the name of the commit.
Yeah.
This for every commit. And because you know me, you know I like to do maybe commits and not the commits. This was a hassle, and I didn't like to write commits because this is every time I need to do this. It's a constraint. It's like a thing that is an anchor that it doesn't help me. It doesn't help me. Then I thought, okay, what can I do about this? I have already this key in the branch name, so I can create a pre-commit hook that it will read the branch name, extract this information, put it in the commit message. So then when I write a commit, automatically a commit will have this information in the commit, in the beginning of the commit. Okay, so I wrote some logic there. And when I did this logic, actually the logic was in a bash, and it was becoming big and big because I was adding condition because we wanted to do conventional commits. I don't know, do you know conventional commits? Feed, store, bug things, and then you can have a scope, and you can have a lot of things, breaking changes. So then we got this thing, but we got this limitation. So then I thought, okay, I will improve the commit hook to be according that you can write things in the commit, and then it will do fancy stuff. So the logic became more complex. So then I thought, okay, every time I'm testing it manually, so I need to have something to test it. And then is when I started to create to create this bashunit thing. So this is about we need to have the Jira ticket, what I was mentioning, to the commits. Then I released like a version 0.1 idea. So some friend of mine, they joined. We released 0.3 when they joined here, and now it's 0.24. And we have over 30 collaborators in the library, more than 300 stars, and we'll see more about that soon. So this is what I was mentioning. After I wrote the pre-commit hook, then I wrote a little assert function in Bash. We're not going to read the Bash now in detail, but as you can see, there is an assert function. You have expected actual value, and you compare. If expected is not the same as actual, then error, exit. Right? You print fail. Otherwise, you print yes, pass. That was kind of the first initial idea I did 3 years ago. And the tests were like this. The test, you have here the assertion, the function, and then here you have the one value, and no, this is the expected, and this is the actual. This is the expected, and this is the actual. So the result of calling the script will end up into this, right? And this is like the message in case it fails. So this was like the first assertions I wrote. And then I thought, okay, but what if I could encapsulate it and have it more like in functions? Not just one file, but more about, okay, I have functions in my script, and then the functions start with test, and then I call the assertion inside the function. So then I can group the functions inside, not just all of them at once. And then here I have a runner, a little runner, which is looping through all the functions. Yeah. And then after doing that, I thought, wait a second, this is very cool. I did this inside the project of the company when I was doing all of that in the commit pre-hook, but this is really isolated. This is really a cool thing. Could be actually a framework to write tests in Bash. And then is when I got this commit with follow-up idea, separate the testing logic into another repository, so it could be reused anywhere.
Nice.
And yeah. This is when I created the bashunit idea, where you can run your cell script test with bashunit, and you can run in different contexts, and then you have a nice output, which is, okay, you're running this test, when you have the output of running the test, if it did pass or not. It was very, very, very minimalistic. Something is, why create another test library? This is funny, very funny. In September 23rd, you can see here. Some person asked, okay, but why did you create this bash unit? There's already a bash underscore unit library. I didn't know that. And this is me answering. This is bash unit, right? Back then, when I answered, we got 15 stars. Yeah. And then bash underscore unit, we got 500 stars. Minimalistic testing library and enterprise frameworks library. That's what we have in our descriptions. And nothing personal with the guy. This is not the author of the bash unit. PG, purpose green, PG, right? This guy, he answered later, a month later, or a year later, actually. But yeah, to the thread, because there was a question from another guy randomly went to the project and he was wondering, but what you create this is if we have already done. I didn't know. I was not a bash expert. I still am not a bash expert. But my answer here, TLDR, is that I had no idea about bash unit, bash, or other libraries for testing bash because I have no idea about bash. I'm not a bash expert. And I just wanted to test my script I did in bash with something really minimalistic. And I have a lot of experience with PHP unit. I come with a lot of years in PHP unit, and I know how the assertion works, and I have I want to have a similar experience, but for my thing I created, for my script. That's why I created bash unit, and I have assert in the beginning. That's it. Then, yeah, this is like after doing the thing, 15 stars. Yeah. The thing is that today, bash unit is focused basically on the developer experience, and this is one of the beauty and why I like it a lot, the bash unit and the experience that gave me working with this, is that the other libraries that you can see, BATS is another framework for testing bash, very modern, and bash underscore unit, very modern. They use modern bash syntaxes. So you need to know bash to use those things. You need to be a really expert in bash. Bash units, what I did is not. It's very, very similar, inspired by PHP unit, inspired by Jest, inspired by libraries and frameworks that are for normal mortals, non-bash experts. That's kind of the core difference between them or us. So now let's see bash unit. Here the logo. The logo was developed by or created by one of my friends, Antonio. Also, here's a full stack real impact. This guy does everything. Anyway, this is a flexible, accessible, updated, and multi-platform testing library for bash scripts. Let's see some minimalistic example here. You can see very similar as what I showed you in the beginning, that you have the functions, very same. We have test underscore or test whatever. Doesn't need to be underscore, but underscore very readable. And then it's not only assert. Now you have assert underscore whatever you want to have. Assert equal, assert same, assert bigger than, assert contains string, assert a lot of assertions. Assert contains, assert matches, regular expressions. We have file exists, string start with. So you can see the FBI of assertions is very, very, very big. And you can use all of these assertions inside any of the tests. And then when you run bash unit, it is a test runner that it will run through all the tests, and then it will give you an output. And also another cool thing, I mean, there's a lot of things. One of them is data providers. So you can have data provider to test. And you can have also here, this is a placeholder to display later, because when you are displaying this that is the pass, you can see that this is like in PHP unit, when you are running with the data providers, you will see the number or the data that you are being provided. You can see that in the debugger even, or even the output. So here also you can see a message, and this is the first argument of and this is the second one of the data provider. Anyway, let's go to a little demo because it's way more fun to see what I'm saying. And here, if we go to the website, this is the website here. You can see it good. Okay, get bigger. In the website, if we go to the documentation, here is the Kickstart, and I want to go to the assertions, and here is what I was talking before. This is also a very thing that I didn't find in the other testing libraries, is the documentation here. This is the documentation for the assertions. You can see these are all the assertions we have so far native. These are assertions, and then here you can see the documentation for each assertion. So you can click on it, you go straight to the example. But that's not all. That's the assertions. As I say, let's go to installation. Let's actually install it. Let's go to a little demo. Let's go to, let's go here. No. PHP Storm file, open. Let's open bashunit demo, for example. Is it opening? Demo. Okay, here we got one. Okay, let's ignore for now what I have here. Let's create a new directory. Let's call it backup. Backup. Okay, let's move everything to backup. So don't worry about that. Let's close everything. There's an empty repository. Let's follow the installation. So installation. A second. Wait a second. Why I was there? Wait, yeah. Why I jumped to? I over jumped this one. This is important. Yeah, this I overlooked this one. I didn't talk about this one, right? Okay, because before going to demo, I wanted to tell you a bit. You can install bashunit, use via curl. This is what I want to do. Curl using a custom installer script that I created. You can also install it with Homebrew, with Macports, or building yourself from source. Very simple. To ensure the quality of bashunit, we have bashunit as a first client for the framework itself. So bashunit is tested with bashunit. We have unit tests, functional, and system tests. We have a lot of different battery of tests that they are running in Mac, Ubuntu, Linux, and Windows. So it's tested in different versions, different operating systems, and a lot of different types of tests. So all the systems that you saw that we have, they are tested already as well. And one of the milestones that we have is that PHP Stand, a tool that you know at least, is what we have for PHP. It's like another helper, another linter in steroids that we have in the repository. A very common thing that help at catching bugs and types in bugs. They have in the PHP Stand source, they have bashunit integrated for the end-to-end test. And that was a collaboration we had there for over a few weeks. And then, back and forth with the staff. And then, yeah, from this thing that is bash, and you can really see, this is an assertion. And then here you're doing a grep. From this thing is really hard to read. This is bash for bash expert. This thing is just bashunit. Assert line count of the output is 1. Assert that the output contains this thing. So here we are changing the way of expressing ourselves with the test, but also the output will be different because here you will get an error, but here you will get actually an error because of this. So it's way more expressive. Okay, now just focus on the experience, and now let's go to a bit of the demo I wanted to show. So let's go to install it. So I copied the installer. This thing here is all in the project. This is the bash script that basically I'm downloading the last version of bashunit. Of course, I need to do the curl, copy the whole thing. So that's it. We have here the last version, 0.24. Okay, I can leave here. Yeah, here. So here I can define where I want to install it like this. I can define the dir or the version. By default is doing it in leaf here on the latest version, 0.24. That's why if I go here, now you will see bashunit 0.24 version. Okay, if I do leave bashunit only, it will say no test found, nothing to run. So let's do the installation, verify. We can also copy this to verify the signature that the script is exactly bashunit verify. This verify the checksum that exactly this is what this was signed by me by here in the website. Okay. So if someone will change because this is bash, if someone will change this for Chema, right now, it's corrupt. Oh. Right? Because someone changed it. And also, it removes the script. Maybe I should not remove it, but you can see here, it's not much in the hash. Yes. And this hash is published in the version on the release on GitHub. It's also published in the website. And here is a very easy way to verify that what you have is exactly what you should have. And no one is giving you, this is the latest version of bashunit, and then it's doing something dirty in the background. No. This is, if it's doing something different, at least you will see it was me who is doing it. But no. So I will install it again. So here it is, okay? And now what do we have here? Let's go, here, let's go to Kickstarter. Install usage. So here we have this very handy usage where I have init. And with this now, look what will happen. If I do init, it's creating here a Bootstrap file empty. So this is like the pest.php where you can have your helpers or whatever. This is just on your functions. You can have this global function for your test. And then you have also this one here, a test, example underscore test, yeah? And then an .m file that is pointing the Bootstrap, bashunit Bootstrap to the test Bootstrap file. You can change it. And what happened now if I run bashunit again? Check. Now it's saying something. Yeah. See, now it's running the test, and here you can see the output. Yeah. So let's make it fail. Let's say a certain same. Let's say here, Chema. Is the same this and this? No, it's not. And here we can see the output. And here, if we have a lot of tests, here we will see this is good, and then it will render. Let's do an example. Let's do here 2. Let's do 3. Let's do here Chema, and let's do here again. So first one fail, second one success. This is the time it took. The third one also good, and there was one failure. So this is like the summary in the very end. So what if you don't want these things, but you want to have like a simple output? You have the dots: fail, success, success, and then in the end you have the actual details.
Now I remember. You showed me like really big, like it's like X.
Probably, and then here, what if you have a test with multiple assets, right? Yes. It's like this one. Wait. So now let's run it again. These are the tests, and this test fail, and here you can see the number of tests and assertions different. So in one side we are counting there are 7 assertions in total, and there are 3 tests. Yeah. And the 1 assertion fail, 1 test fail, and 2 test passes, and so on and so forth, and the totals. Yeah. Okay, and we can do also not just simple like this. We can do simple like this. We can also run it in parallel. This is I think if you have a lot of tests to run them in parallel in multi processes to be much faster. You can also do there are a lot of things to help. Bashunit help. Sorry, it is here. You have the command line help, and here you can see all the options here on the right. Assert, Bootstrap, debug, filter, JUnit login, parallel, HTML report, benchmark, output, stop on failure, verbose, no output version, upgrade, init, upgrade or cool. Verbose, what is that verbose here? Let's run it as simple. Verbose. It gives you a lot of more metadata information for every test, so you can understand better what is Bashunit thinking, what is the data of Bashunit itself, very handy. I think configuration, testing files. You have also, this is the way you can write tests. You can write it with underscore, with a camel case. It's optional to have the test in the beginning, the function in the beginning. You can change the name of the display test. You can have setup, tear down, setup before script. This is like before all, before each ingest, or setup before the script, so before all the tests run or after. We have also a snapshot test that you run a script, and then it creates a snapshot of the result. And then when you run again the same test, then it will compare the result of the execution with the previous snapshot that you did before. Very powerful for complex tests. Then we have we can skip for sure, or mark incomplete tests. We can run standalone Bashunit. This is exactly what happened with PHP Stan, where they didn't want to run the runner of Bashunit. They wanted to run the function and the logic of the assertions, but not the runner. So then I extracted this, and then I say, okay, then you can run here. Let's say you can run Bashunit standalone. Assert, and here I say same. This is the assertion I want to run, and then here I can say 1 equal to 1, yes. But if I say 1 equal to 2, no. You see? And then the exit code or the return code, it will be different, and then you can see that here is green because the return from this was okay, so there was no failure. But the return from this one, it was not okay, so here you got an error. And this is exactly what in the end-to-end in PHP they are using, so they can control if this is the same or not. And this give you all the assertions of the library of bashunit inside. That's the beauty of this. Yeah, and then you can also create your own custom assertions as well. And not just, so all of this is extendable. So all of this is what we created all together in the community of bashunit, but you can create your own custom assertion if you want to. So of course you can do that. And yeah, and then one more thing is the project GitHub. Now it has, I mentioned 30 contributors, almost 400 stars, and almost 2,000 commits. And here you can see the contributors, and and the one funniest thing and one last thing is the version that is supported is 3.2. Right now, I think it's version 5 or 6. Why is this version 3.2, which makes it very, very old? So this is from 2007. This bash version is from 2007. Why is this? Because in the Mac where I was developing the bash unit, the Mac I got, the default Mac before at least, you got this version of bash. They didn't upgrade to the latest version. By default, you have bash 3.2. And this is the bash I was using when I developed bash unit. Now there is more, again, there is more modern syntax, there is more, but back then, no. And then I didn't know any of that, so I accommodated to use, and this is why also a lot of headaches and it's super complication because you don't have arrays. I mean, you have arrays, but they are not super powerful arrays. There is a lot of strings, and there are not a lot of types, and there's a lot of limitation, like using PHP 3 right now. It's like, what the fuck? But this is kind of a feature I took, the advantage that once I knew that, I thought, okay, cool, then I will stick with this. Also, even I want to try to go to even lower, 3.0, but this is so complex because there are things that I cannot use and they need to reverse, and so that's kind of the thing. Let me see if I got something else. Here we got some examples. And then one more thing is this thing. As you can see, a project used by 3,000 people, 20 contributors. This pull request size labeler, anyone knows or remember what can this be?
Yeah, maybe from the amount of files, lines, pull request. It's one of the checks. Yeah, we have it, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is the pull request size level. Is the PR size XL, L. This pull request GitHub action that I installed back then. I knew that because the people developing this, they introduced also bash unit to test their thing. And actually, there was a pull request. This is also in bash entirely, the project. And there was a pull request that someone asked it to be merged, and then because they wanted to be, but they were changing some regular expression. And then how do you know that this is not breaking the code? They didn't have any tests back then. Then Manu, one of the colleagues, so one of my friends here, this guy here, then he thought, okay, I will add a snapshot test to test what is the current behavior, and then I will match across to the new behavior. It will happen when I have this new change. And it was failing. So this change that it was being done in pull request, it was breaking the compatibility with everyone using this right now. So this saved the asses, and then he could say, no, we cannot merge this. Again, automation test here for the win. Yeah. So they introduce it. They have it now, some tests, snapshot tests. They are very, very cool. And I think that should do it. Any question? No, any question? Something to... Okay, and then for the last, before the applause, I will show you then what the cherry on top. Do you see my terminal good? Okay. So this thing is bash unit right now. I'm running all the tests of bash unit. I have about 428 tests. I'm running the tests of bash unit, which are here, as you can see, the repository, test, unit, acceptance, and then inside the units, we got, a lot of them. And here are running. And then while they are run, I'll go to the bash unit here. I'll go to GitHub. Okay, here you can see the output. 28 seconds took to run almost 600 assertions of a lot of types. And here, if we go to the success, actions. Here I'm running for the Windows, for macOS, for Ubuntu, for Linux, all these checks for the project itself. So every commit or every pull request, they have to be this green. And if we go, for example, to the simple output on this one test, let's see what is this run test. Here, yeah, I'm checking macOS 13 and latest. Yeah, and here you can see also the other output I was mentioning. So the other one was simple, only dots, and this is the whole complete test that you can see the time, the name, and everything grouped and nice. All right, then by that, any question, Hossein, or anyone here?
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, and Mohammed? Ah, of course. We have mocks. I forgot to mention that. Oh my God. This is one of the latest thing I was working so hard. Oh my God, that was here, test doubles. Yes, we have mocks. This was super tough because the mocks we have last year, they were not working. And half a year ago, I fixed them and I forgot it. Yes, this was super hard to do. Fucking amazing hard, these mocks. I was fighting with this so much. And then you can mock a function, and then when you call it, you can fake the behavior of the return of the function, so you don't call it. For example, you do a call to call an API, and then you have a JSON, and then you play with JSON. You don't want to, in your unit test, you don't want to call the real API. You want to mock the call to the call, and then you fake the response, and then you play with this. You can do this here. Yes, and I think did I close it? Still here? No. Okay, 1 second. Maybe here. Yeah. So this is the project I was mentioning. I will remove everything. I will come back to what I was before. And here, complex test. Here, for example. Of course. Thank you for the question. This is the demo. Also, in this test, I am mocking the cool core, and the result will be this file, the fixtures here. If we go to this file, oh, no, here. Yeah. So this pull request API, this response here, this is the result of the mock when I call cool, when I call the complex script. So this is a script. I'm doing a snapshot test here. And then I call the complex script. You can go to source, complex. And here I'm doing this logic, yes? So here I do a call, and I don't want to do the real call. So when I do a call, then I will get this fake data, and then I continue with the conditions. And this is what I am. Then I write a snapshot like this or this. These are the different snapshots for different tests. And then this is what you have. Now run the test, pass unit, green. The tests are passing. The test for the complex and the other example, which is either doing calling, creating directories, or calling a complex software. And here you have the test for them. So yeah, thank you. This was a tough one. Yeah, okay, mocks. This is one of the toughest here. Okay, any other question? No. Thank you very much. Then I appreciate it. This was just an introduction to bashunit. Now read the docs if you want to know more, or you know where I sit. Thank you again.